Haven't done one of these in a while, but now that I've got the gimbal, I think I'm better equipped to do it. The walk in the countryside. And also to answer this never-ending question of garbage teaching jobs in Japan. So basically, people when they come over here, they have a disease, and it's called needlessly worrying. And I would say there's two questions that are obviously asked the most to me when I come here, since I've come and since people write to me. And the two questions are, the first one is, do I need a 4-year degree to teach in Japan? And the hard answer to that is yes and no, but we're not talking about this. The other question is, how good is X company? How good is GABA? How good is Interac? How good is Aeon? How good is Berlitz? How good is Peppy Kids Club? How good is Alita, or whatever it is, Altia? Alita's an awesome movie. I really enjoyed it. And the whole point of this is to say that none of that matters. They're all garbage. They're all entry-level garbage, and you're wasting your time and you're driving yourself insane to get bound up in this minutia, to be constantly wondering if this first contract, first company that you come over to Japan with is worth your time. Because if you are considering being here for any period of time at all, that is to say beyond anywhere extending past a year, then you'd never want to stay with one of these companies for any significant period of time. I write to people, back to people when they ask this question, to always tell them that as soon as you get here, I would say within the first 6 months, you should be trying to find something better. You should be on, I'll put like the links down below in the description of this, but you should be on EduCareer, you should be on Jolt. Hell, you can even go on Gaijinpot, as oversaturated as that is as a place to look. You can go on, ohiosensei.com. You can go on glassmirror.com. I should say as well, something. Konnichiwa. Iyo tenki desu ne. Mushi atsuku nai. To continue to talk about this, I would say it's basically that you should even be thinking beyond teaching if you're going to be here for a long period of time. And that's going to even more highlight this point that I'm making, that you should be considering a longer term plan that has nothing to do with one of these companies. Now, let me amend what I'm saying here, in that they're garbage looked at through the context of using them for anything extending beyond a year. And I would turn this criticism on myself. I was poorly informed. I should have looked for better options. And I was with Interac for far too long, where as soon as you can, you find something better. And that can be that you work on getting I would say like a distance master's. I tried to do that. I got rejected from it, but I've also got other considerations in that I would like to perhaps pursue something a little different, which is the next thing that I would talk about, which is that I'm going to run into my students here. I know it. That's not good. If you want to do something like IT, you have IT as an option. Hello. Hello. Oh no. Oh no. That's a problem with living close to your school, is you're going to run into all your students. They're good kids. I'm screwed if they start running after me. Hello. Hello. Basically, these companies have a use. They're not utterly garbage. They're garbage in the long term. They have one use. They have one use, and I've said it before, and I say it in live streams, but I should say it now definitively in this video, and that is getting yourself into the country. And they know that's what they're for. That's why they hire internationally. That's why they have massive churn. That's why they have so many new people coming in. It breaks my heart when I hear about these people who have worked for Interac for 10 years. I'm like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. Like, even on Gaijinpot, you're going to be able to find a better job within that period of time. You should not be, in my opinion, wasting it working at that company. Now, I'll even soften this, although it's not the sexy thing to do here, is that I do understand that some people don't give a shit. And for whatever reason, they're just happy and they're content to do something that doesn't bank them a large amount of money, and they raise a family on a very tough wage, but they do it and they're content. And who am I to judge that? But if you have any aspirations at all beyond just being content and raising a family on a very, very basic income, then you've got to look for something different, and you've got to consider a longer term plan. You got a couple of options. Like I said, you could easily, one of the obvious things, learn the language. Hello. More students? Oh my God. I keep getting derailed because of the students. They're good kids though. They're good kids. You would look at the different options that you have. And that can be something like, if you wanted to continue with teaching, as I said, you could do the distance education thing. You could get yourself a master's. If you don't want to continue to do that, make damn sure that you get the language up. I just did the JLPT3, felt really, really good about it. So moving on up, if I can get through that. If you get the language, you unlock a bunch of doors. If you don't want to do the teaching thing, then consider something like IT. You can get all these certifications that these sort of IT companies don't give a shit. If you have some 4-year degree, what they care about is that you have these certifications that allow you to work on networks, that allow you to program, that allow you to do things in a practical, almost like digital brick and mortar sense that you don't need to go to some post-secondary education to get. You can get these certifications online. You can read the books. You can educate yourself. You can progress. And so all these questions that you're asking yourself, will GABA be good? Is 220,000 yen enough to live on a month? It just doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And what you're doing to yourself is you're creating blinders. You're like misdirecting your attention. You're taking it away from the long game, and you're looking at really short-term returns and worries that you have. And it's a total waste of time. And I know these questions will never stop coming, because there's all these people like I had with so little experience that they don't know any better. But then to think that this is the huge thing and that I'm going to work at this company forever. And that's why I have some compassion for it, because I had this thought that I might move up through the company without understanding that they're just a big rookie mill and that their whole business design is to churn people over, because that's what keeps their cost of doing business down. So there's some food for thought. Don't waste your time on these companies anymore. Use them. Get into the country. Find something better as soon as you possibly can, and then get on with it. And constantly be crafting a plan where you're looking more years out than the single year that you're going to have a contract with one of these large dispatch companies, because they'll come and they'll go, and they have a glass ceiling, and there's no upwards momentum that you're ever going to find in them, and worrying about them is a total waste of time. So I hope people will come across this and they'll be like, shit, I was totally wasting my time being concerned about this. I'm going to think about how I can get my master's degree while I'm there teaching. I'm going to think about how I can find that sweet international school, that direct hire job, that university position. I'm going to use all these resources to find myself a job, as opposed to obsessing on Reddit about how good or not good Interac is, when you really shouldn't spend that much time with them. All right, clock's run out. Hope you guys like the vid. Catch you in the next one.